What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the Ketchup Podcast with your host, aka Mr. Mike's Guy, aka Mr. Hayes, aka Mr. One Mo Again. My man Huey, he's not here. My man Rajim is not here today, but we got a special guest host in here. It's my man Brian, aka Mr. Computer Love, aka The Bucks, aka Mr. Ohio. What's up, man?
What's good, man? What's good?
Yeah,
Shit.
we out here doing the thing. One more again. We have episode 10, Mid Catch Up Podcast. It's been a wonderful Sunday, man. How your week been going?
Week has been great, man. Just getting accustomed to the new job and the responsibilities. But other than that, it's been good. Can't complain. Can't
All
complain.
right, all right. That's good, man. My week's been good, man. Just preparing. I got my young one, man. He getting ready to graduate next week, so we just been trying to put all that stuff together. Got the fam out here. Well, my mom's supposed to be coming into town. We got family out here that's doing their thing. So it's been interesting. You know what I'm saying? Really seeing. Got the son 18, about to go out to the world. You know what I'm saying? Hoping and praying that you did everything possible to make sure that he was good to go. So, we out here doing the thing and just trying to make that happen. So.
Man, yeah, that's amazing because it didn't seem like just that long ago the boys was playing soccer together, and now they're about to be adults. So
Yeah,
this
it's
thing
nuts, man.
is wonderful. It's wonderful.
It's
Congrats.
nuts. Oh,
Congrats. Bert.
appreciate it. Hey, man, congrats to you too, man. You told me you done came up, man. They trying to make you the boss.
Yeah, man, the brother's been blessed by God, been able to take on more responsibilities at the job. They put 7 developers under me, so I get to mentor and evaluate, and I'm added into the process of hiring new people because our company is growing. So, I thank God for that because it's nothing but being blessed.
Hey, man, that's fantastic, man. Then you also get to, take your experiences, take the story that you know what I'm saying, you've told your own personal story of all the things you've overcome and the way that you taught yourself all these things, man. You get to take that and then be an influence to all the people below you, man, and continue to be an influence and buck the stereotypes, you know what I'm saying, that be out there. So, man, congrats, you know what I'm saying,
Thank you.
on all that stuff.
Appreciate that.
So once again, Men Catch a Podcast, we got to start it off, man. Drink it today. Drink it today. Right now, you know what I'm saying? I'm just sitting here on some Jack and Coke. A little Jack and Coke. Kept it simple. Nice Sunday. It's nice and sunny out here. So it's a nice little splash with some ice in that joint. And I'm good to go, man. What you got?
So I'm going to say to any representatives out there from our good people at Crown, I love your product.
Hey, man. That
Here at the Mint Ketchup, we would greatly appreciate your patronage, your sponsorship, and we would be glad each and every week to endorse your product.
This has been brought to you by Peach Crown. It's lovely all day, every day. So I really appreciate you, Crown Royal, and what you're doing, and keep adding some flavors, man. Maybe add some different ones. And the apple legit. You know what I'm saying? Apple's legit. Got the peach out there, you know what I'm saying? Doing it up. So it's good stuff out there.
For whatever reason, man, this stuff is like, it's crazy. You can hardly find it. I gotta go over to Indiana sometimes. Like you can't find it. Like it's like, oh no, we'll have that in August, and it'd be like June. It'd be like August, like, oh yeah, we'll get a shipment in then. Like, really?
Hey, man. Hey, folks be after it, man. I got me a box downstairs. You know what I'm saying? It's like I got an apple and peach, man. They on the little bar, man, getting ready. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Trying to keep them right. So when you come through, I got you. You know what I mean? We'll be good to go.
Definitely. See, I'm coming down to you when it's bad up this way.
I know it's starting to get nice up there, so now it feels good to be in Ohio. But you know what I mean?
So right now, like I tell everybody, in Ohio, we don't really get spring like everyone else gets spring. So
right.
We'll come through the winter, and then it'll start to get a little warmer, and you're like, oh, spring's on the way. Then it'll revert back to winter a little bit. You're like, oh, okay, it's getting a little bit warmer. Oh, okay. Then probably somewhere in May, after it's done being rainy and cold and everything, then you'll get some nice days. Like it's been straight 80 degrees the last 4 days, low 80s. This is great. That's it. It's over. It's going to turn summer next week.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be 90 degrees hot from now through October. You're like, where is spring?
Yeah, don't even want to be outside. Spring disappeared, man. They said, nah, we ain't even doing that no more.
Global warming is for real.
Said we ain't even doing that no more. But all right, man. Well, we got to drink it today. Cheers to everyone out there. Make sure let us know what you're drinking on, if you're drinking on something, or if you're just trying to hydrate. You know what I'm saying? I did my workout this morning. I didn't even know if drinking would have been a good thing to do right now because it was tiring. But I'm still, podcast made me do it. I'm gonna blame on the podcast. So but everybody, cheers out there. Yeah. Cheers out there to everybody. Now we're gonna move on to another segment here. We got the news of the week. So there's been many things that's been going on out here in the world. And we kind of deal with a little bit of hip hop and whatnot. So we got to talk about another rapper living up to his name. Daggone Young Thug. This dude and the whole YBL or whoever, his whole clique. Them mugs is up on some racketeering charges, like the mob, son. They out here getting the Rico charges like crazy. Let me read this for you real quick, and this is from what I'm getting is from NPR. They talking about how the hip hop their headline is the charges against Young Thug build on a growing trend of criminalizing rap crews. So they seeing it. The raps are now matching what the rappers are doing, and it's becoming a bad thing. So last week, in the Fulton County District Attorney in Atlanta charged rappers Young Thug and Gunna with indictment of more than 80 pages of alleged participation in street gangs activity and violating RICO law. That's short for racketeering, influence, and corrupt organization, a law that originally designed to fight organized crime like the mafia. Like, I mean, they getting that real deal. Like, I mean, that's tough out there right there, man. And I mean, they got folks that was on. I saw a thing they was talking about. They got dudes on wire. They got them doing. I mean, it ain't good, man. Like, so what do you think with this situation already? It's kicking us back to this is, what I'm saying, matching the stereotype. Yo, raps is matching what you doing. You got folks out there that was rapping, killing people, and they actually kill people. Like, it's not a storytelling thing, or the person that the block was like, hey, we see that this person has a skill and he can make money. Let's protect this dude. Just like the basketball player, just like the football player that was in the hood. It was like, oh, this dude does music. He's dope. If whoever's the dope boy on the block was like, all right, I'm gonna protect this dude, or I'm gonna back him up with money so that he can live his dream and move forward and get out of the hood. And now you got the dudes that's actually they doing it, and they doing it like they doing it for real, doing it. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even living up to the 10 crack commandments. They don't do that no more. Like Biggie was like, hey man, you got the 10 crack commandments. Don't smoke your own supply. Don't do it. Like, I mean, I know those, and I live in the burbs, man. I ain't never do that stuff. And it was like one of those things where, like, you got cats that's out there, they smoking their own stuff. They high all the time, doing drugs. You ain't supposed to be the drug dealer and do drugs. I know that. Like, that's like, you can't keep your money right. Like, what do you think about these situations that's going on here recently with the young rappers? Because they ain't listening to the old rappers.
The problem is, I would love to ask either one of them one question. Have you ever heard Jay-Z's Dead Presidents?
Probably not. They had a thing
in there. He says one thing that will get you hit with the RICO. They repo your vehicle. I mean, right then and there, they're telling you, hey, everything was good all just a week ago. I mean,
yeah, it was all
that
good
one
just a week
bar
ago.
would have helped you understand.
Yeah,
the fans be watching.
yeah, they see you, man. I mean, you can't write 27 murder novels and have a whole bunch of people that got dead bodies all around you, and then don't fall into like, you know what, this person may be murdering too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, where they getting these stories from? Like, how are they knowing so much detail of these things if they ain't participating in these situations? And it's like, come on, guys, come on, like y'all just out here. I
I,
don't.
I want to know who's going to get out of jail first, because that one is the one that talked.
I don't know if the get out of jail situation is happening, man. Like it looks
Oh,
like you had so many people. It
you're
looks like
right.
you got so many people that have been um on the wire. Like
You're you're right.
you
You're
can't
right.
get they can't get away, man. Like
You're right.
they've been watching them for too long. And it's like they seen all the mugs on the wire and it's getting kind of crazy right now.
They
You know, so
they
um
probably they probably thought they could Takashi this.
they was about to Tekashi 6ix9ine that joint. You know, but you see where he at. So it ain't going well for that dude either. It ain't
No,
going well for that dude either.
you're right.
Let me do something real quick. I'm about to bring in, we got our guest of the day that's about to
Oh,
jump on here. My cousin. See, now this is fam right here. My man be doing big things on Zone Barbershop here in Tampa. I'm about to introduce my man Mike Ward to the program. What's up, Big Mike?
What's up, Cuzzo? What's
right.
happening?
What's
What's
What's up, big
up?
happening,
dog?
man? You know,
Chilling.
we've been waiting for you to get in here. You know what I'm saying? We just doing the news of the day right now. I know you
Yeah,
was out and about doing what you
old
gotta do.
people and gadgets, man.
Man, you ain't that old, baby.
Man,
That's wisdom, dog. That's
try,
wisdom.
try to tell them.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he wanted to prove it. He wanted to prove it.
Oh, come on, man. You gotta come back. Oh shoot,
He
hold up.
wanted to
But
prove
we'll go ahead and let him figure out his technical difficulties real quick. So he done bounced again. But anyways, hopefully we get him back. Mike will be back on here. We'll check it out. Hopefully it'll work out for him here. But next topic that we got going on. Oh shoot. Oh, that looks like he may have made it back.
it. Okay.
All right. You back, man? You all right? You all
I
right,
told
man?
you,
Oh,
man.
you was
I
trying to
told you.
prove it.
Listen, old people and gadgets don't mix, dog. You know what I'm saying? See. All right, we
So you
good now.
all right, cool, man, cool. So we was just sitting here talking about little hip hop news for the week that we had
Right.
going on. We was talking about
Okay.
Young Thug and his whole situation, man. Did you you
Yeah.
hear about that?
I did not. I mean, I heard a few people talking about it at the barbershop, but I never really, caught window like what. Listen, I'm an old school hip hop head, man. So a
I
lot of
got
a lot of these new cats, dog, I try not to pay attention to. I try not to. You know what I
I
mean?
got you.
But what
Man.
happened? What happened though? Talk to me.
So Young Thug, he had, he been doing some little hip hop joints for a little bit now, a few years. He's been doing his thing. And
Okay.
everybody's trying to live their lyrics. You know what I'm saying? Back in the day,
True.
it was more or less like I was talking to my man Brian. Back in the day, you had the person that was on the block, just like the
Right.
football player, the basketball player, whoever. If they saw that, hey,
Right.
they may make it. The dude
Right.
that's selling the dope on the corner, man, he ain't messing with him. He ain't trying to get him in the game. He like, I'm gonna try to get you
Nah.
out the hood.
Right.
Now you got all the rappers, man. They trying to really live it. And they like, yo, I want to be that person. They want to be, Tony Soprano. They want to
Right.
be
No doubt.
that guy making these deals. So you got the dudes that be getting caught up on Instagram and Twitter where they out here showing their guns and their money and people ended
Right.
up killed and they getting caught that way. Then you got dudes out there, and this was one of those situations where you had Young Thug, man, caught up on a RICO charge, man. Straight mob,
Right.
you know
How
what I'm saying,
about that?
mafia type
Yeah, that's
stuff.
crazy.
So it's like him and another rapper, Gunna, they got caught up on the RICO. So, what do you think about?
And Gunner is actually one of the young cats in the game that I kind of like a little bit. Like I can
Yeah,
listen to him. Let's just say I can tolerate him a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hit him with the toleration. There you go. But
Right.
so I mean, so what do you think of like the, like I was like, you know, people ain't listening to, like you said, Jay-Z on Dead Presidents, or, you know, Biggie on 10 Crack Commandments. Like they like doing totally opposite
Nah,
of
they skip
what, you know, the rappers before said do. You know what I'm saying?
they
What do
skip
you think
like
about that?
It's funny because we actually had a conversation about this in the barbershop again
Hmm.
a few days ago, and we were talking about how MCs back in the day, like they thrived off of being street smart and having, book smarts. Like those guys, they were going to college and stuff like that. Like
Yeah, yeah,
you look up a lot of rappers and stuff, what I'm saying, with, from the 80s and the early 90s, what I'm saying, they were going to college. They took pride in having intelligence and smarts.
yeah,
That's why a lot of the rap nowadays doesn't have any substance or any, real content value to it, because, now, they're on all these, prescribed drugs. Like who does that? And their emotions, that they're just so emotional right
yeah,
now. And what I'm saying, and along with the viewer, like, you got kids out here who are following along with what these, younger rappers are talking about. And it's like, the mentality of the listener and today's rapper is real, like minute, is real small, like it's real condensed. What I'm
mhm.
saying? Like due to the fact of they can't they're easily influenced. What I'm
Right,
saying? They're
right,
easily
yeah, yeah,
influenced. And a lot of these guys now, they want to, rap about it. Now they're getting caught on the carpet about them rapping their music. What I'm saying? So now
yeah,
they feel like they got to go out here and do something stupid. You
yeah,
know what I mean? To get, street cred or some kind of
right, right,
hood notoriety or whatever the case may be. Like, listen, I'm from the hood. It ain't all cut out what it what it
yeah,
is, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, like to the suburbs I go. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's real.
yeah,
It's real.
yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Yeah, man.
it's different from being able to, you know what I'm saying, being able to maneuver in both sides. You know what I'm
No
saying? It's
doubt.
always one of those where it's like, hey, you know, like coming in the barbershop or be on the block. If I go check out some folks that I know on the block or something, being
Right,
able to
right,
go down
right.
there and be like, yo, what's up? You know, do the deal. But at the same time, I can go back to the burb. I can go to the corporate meeting, and they're not looking at me sideways like, why
True
is this dude
story.
speaking in slang about, you know what I'm
True.
saying? Like, nah, like I'm doing my piece. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
I know
No
how to
doubt.
switch the vernacular.
Right,
You know what I'm
right. No
saying? Back
doubt.
and forth. And I
No
know
doubt.
that, you know, so I don't know if it's another one of those keeping it real goes wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like Dave
True.
Chappelle told us about it, man. We've been seeing a lot of
Yeah.
those where it's like Cax is just trying to keep it too real. Like, what are you doing?
Like way too real, man. It's like, come on, bro. Like do something positive, man. Like everybody who's listening to you and all this money you have, you can like really make some serious moves in the community. Like you
Yeah,
don't have to do dumb stuff, even if you come from poverty or you do come from that type of lifestyle. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like once you make it, like, people like you, what I'm saying, myself, my brother Brian over here, what I'm saying? If we came from that, we're trying to get away from that once we make it. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? We don't want to sit there and dwell in it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
That's stupid.
they
So
should be showing a better way.
Yeah.
right, correct,
Because
correct.
especially, you know, getting into the, you know, especially the drug game where you're actually assisting in messing up people's lives. You know what I'm
True
saying?
story.
Like
True
you up
story.
here making, you know, you hurting other families instead of like bringing people out. You know
And
what
No
I mean?
doubt.
So, you
did,
know what I'm
did,
saying? So it's one of those where it's like it's a circle of hate. You like, man, you doing stuff because what, you hate your people and then you hate yourself because you don't want to step out and take on the difficulty of not doing it. Yeah, that may be the easy
Right.
part because you already
Right.
know
No
it. But the
doubt.
difficult part is like, all right, I ain't touching that no more, and I'm moving in this direction. You know, so
Right. No
it's
doubt.
always tough on that one. You know, so
Right. It
well,
is true.
so on that one, you know, I mean, that's unfortunate for Young Thug and his posses, but hopefully they make it work. You know, hope, you know,
I hope so
whatever
too,
happens,
man.
you know what I'm saying, whatever happens, they be all right. So also,
good
man,
just a week
I
ago.
saw I saw a deal out here that was kind of interesting. You know, more or less, I guess, for the Florida people down here, they had a they had in case, or and also Brian, in case y'all come down for the summertime or in the fall, and y'all you get a little rental, get a little what's the little rent a crib down here, rent a house down here, and all the other stuff.
Airbnb.
Get you an Airbnb or something. So the Bradenton police, is warning of a fresh towel scam. So this fresh towel scam, right? So you had this. So what was happening is that you have a Latino woman had broken English, and she was knocking on people's doors, asking if they were owners or renters. And then after the
Oh,
person that was in there would reply, "Hey, I'm renting it for whatever," and then she would just go like, "Hey, I'm here to change out your towels," and the people let them in. So then she
what?
came in, like changing out the towels like it's a hotel. Like I guess the people was just like, "Oh yeah, we were in the spot. We came down for the little week or whatever." She knocked on the
Right.
joint like, "Hey, I'm the housekeeper type deal." She go in there to like change the towel. She just go upstairs and like pocket all they junk and then roll out. So that was like the scam. She running the hustle. But my whole deal is like, okay, how are you in the crib and somebody knock at the door and they ask you, like, if somebody came to your house and asked you if you was owning or renting, and then you be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna let them in." Like that's kind of weird, right? Like,
Nah,
I
man.
mean, that's a crazy hustle though.
And somebody must have not read their contract.
That's a crazy hustle, man. Like that's putting that work in to be able to like you got to think about that one. That was like you got to be brave too.
Yeah, but that just tells you
That's
how many
yeah. You
nights
gotta you gotta you
there
gotta be
are.
super brave. Like I'm just telling you right now, bro. You're not pulling that off in the hood, man. They had to be.
They
You
was
know,
newbies, man. They was newbies.
Oh, they let her
like
in. They robbed her of her towels. Kicked her
Yeah,
out.
yeah, yeah. They'd
Oh,
have been like, "Come on in, then. Let me
hey,
hear what you got."
hey,
he's at least 300 count. It's good.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
make
just like I don't know how you do that. Like, especially if you haven't
yeah.
had any contact with your landlord or the property owner. You know what I'm saying? Like some people, they just don't think, man. So I don't know. I don't
Look,
know. It's kind of hard to fathom that one, man. God, dog, that's crazy.
that's why I got a that's why I
I
got a
mean,
ring doorbell.
but I
So I
got, but
can
I got,
see
but I
who
got
it
a,
is.
but I got a completely different spin to it though. Like,
What's up?
what kind of drug are you on that will make you come up with that? You know what? I'm about to come up by just I'm about to just go door to door, see who has
Who
who
on the
who needs
Airbnb game?
tile,
And you
right? You
like,
know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy.
yeah, that's wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, it's either like it's the most inventive joint because nobody would see that coming. They would just be like, "Oh, okay."
Like
And
nobody.
also yeah, it's like also you would be like, "All right, well, if you get a owner's door, you knock on somebody's door and they be like, "Yeah, I'm the owner." Then you be like, is it just like, "Oh, my bad. I was trying to find a renter, a rental property. I forgot the address." Like, what's the walkabout on that one?
Right.
What's the back walk on that joint? You know what I mean?
Like seriously. Like my God, that's hilarious. Wow.
I don't think that will work in Ohio though. You ain't got a lot of
Nah,
Man,
Airbnbs up there
Ohio,
though.
no,
that damn
no.
show ain't going down in Lansing, Michigan. Trust and believe.
Yeah, yeah. I don't think there's many Airbnbs in Lansing though. I
No.
don't think it's going down like that.
Uh-uh. At all, bro.
Oh
At
shoot.
all.
And that's why I
Well,
got a ring doorbell.
I wanted to let me hit this one more before I jump on a music deal because I'm pretty sure the one that I'm gonna bring up music wise will be a long conversation. But I just wanted to give we wanted to give a little update to all our listeners on everybody watching the news and stuff like that. Update on Putin and Russia and
Right.
and how they out there getting the brakes beat off of them real quick by Ukraine. It's kind of crazy, man. It's like I kind of put this up like you go to an AAU tournament and you up here just getting beat the brakes off by a whole bunch of 5'10" motherfuckers. And and you got number 6'5" and above dudes, and they out here
Right.
putting work in on you. Like
Right.
just because they had a sponsor that got them some J's and they was feeling good, like the 5'10" cast was feeling good. Like you got the US over here, drop some J's over for the Ukraine, and now them boys
Right.
can dunk. So they out here just getting busy on Russia real quick. So I mean, it's interesting, man. Have y'all been following, everything that's been going on with that?
A little bit here and there, but I did see that one,
Me
man.
too.
I mean, what they say, over 80 vehicles, tanks, personnel carriers, and the barge that they used or tried to cross over with had holes and was destroyed completely. Like, yeah, it ain't no fishing over there because all that good stuff is in there. But man, they took a beating that day.
Yeah.
Putin leaking something because it didn't work.
Yeah, it's bad out there, man. Is that anything that be talking about in the old barbershop, man?
Not too much, man. I
Stay away
mean,
from that.
I mean, a little bit. You know what I'm saying? When a lot of military gentlemen come in, they speak on it, and things of that nature. But the whole situation is real, screwy,
Yeah,
real
yeah.
crazy. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah, it's different, man. We talked about it a little bit on the podcast before.
right,
Just give a little update, man. They out there, they doing their thing, man. It's kind of crazy that this one country, what I'm saying, with and that's their own fighters. I mean, they do have some, unique Americans and some unique people from other countries, regular civilians, I guess, that's gone over there,
right.
which has been interesting that they went over there and did some stuff. But it's just the Ukrainians and Russia going toe to toe. And I mean, the Ukraine did have like about 4 heavyweight champions, man.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
They out here, they was ready to get down, ready to fight. So they did their thing, and it's still going on. So we'll see how it goes down. It's kind of interesting on that.
Real quick, man. Not to interrupt, but I mean, since we're on the topic of Ukraine and Russia, I definitely want to give a shout out to the country Romania. You know what I'm saying? Because when the whole war thing first started, and
Mhm.
everybody, I'm sure seen the news where, a lot of Africans, black people of color, were trying to get on the subways and trains to, evacuate, what I'm saying, from the country Ukraine. They wouldn't allow them to leave. They only wanted Ukrainians to, what I'm saying, be able to have first dibs to flee.
Right,
And
right.
Romania actually came in, helped them get away, and fed them, sheltered them, clothed them. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So I thought that was, pretty dope, man.
yeah,
But which still sad that we're still dealing with, that type of real pandemic in the country to
yeah,
this
yeah,
day,
man.
and in the world really. But
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, but no, I just want to give a shout out to Romania for that, man, for
I
sure.
know.
Hey, shout out, man. Shout out to everybody that's out there. With especially with Ukraine not being necessarily a part of anybody's team. You
Right,
got,
right,
that's one of the things why Russia's kind of acting a fool and stuff. And now you got Finland and Sweden. They talking about looking to join NATO due to the fact that Russia's doing what they do. And
right.
everybody kind of has their teams that they're kind of associated with,
No
to have
doubt.
somebody that had a back. So shout out to all those. I mean, Americans out there that's setting up little donation deals, and countries
Right.
all over the world that are helping out and assisting. We don't want no bullies out here. You know what I mean? So they're out there assisting, making sure everything's good to go.
No doubt.
Yep.
So now I think we're gonna move on to one of the topics that music wise we had to step on. So first I'm gonna ask you, Big Mike, man, do you say you old school, and this is probably one of the most, I can't say most old school, but I mean he's touching on, I feel like he's touching on the goatness. Have you listened to
Right.
Kendrick Lamar's new album, sir?
I have not, and I actually meant to download it. Again, going back to the
All right,
barbershop,
brother.
we just had a conversation about this in the barbershop, and I meant to,
Oh,
and I think he's one of the dope, you know what I'm saying, newer MCs, bro. Like
oh,
who's really
yeah.
who really got something to say, man. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
a,
So
I'm gonna tell you right now, man. Like the question I have for the news of the day right now, based on this album, I'm looking to place Kendrick Lamar in GOAT status.
whoa,
He's in that range right now. He's on the list. I would say
Already though?
no, I mean you have to look at his run of albums. He got like 5 straight that you could
Right.
say are 5 micers. If we're gonna go back to
Okay.
the source level, 5 mic.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
he got
Right.
5 straight that would be 5 mic. And there's I was watching what's Ebro and them in the morning, and Berg was like, yo, nobody has had this run. And they were the only person they could bring up that had the same type of run is another person that they be putting them in that top 5-ness. They looking to put him in that top 5-ness was like Kanye, like having 5 mic type run of albums this long. And Kendrick, man, Kendrick's on another plane, dude. He's on another.
How many albums does Kendrick have out?
He's had like 6.
Okay.
So I mean, he's like 5 or 6 albums. So I mean, he's literally on a run of like, and they didn't count the Black Panther album, which he did the whole deal on the Black Panther album, and that album was crazy. So you got Kendrick running it, man. I mean, 5 for 5. And I don't. There's nobody that did that. I mean, Jay ain't do that. I mean, Eminem ain't do that. Like, I mean, I would say 5 for 5, where he giving you content, beats, he making you smarter. Like, I'll be like, there hasn't been, like, I was telling Brian, man, I was like, yo, it took Jay-Z till 444 before he was like, I'm gonna speak on some things. Like real.
Well, Jay, like I said, Jay spoke on some things.
But it was street things.
Right.
It wasn't life things. He started speaking on life things after he was like, got super money.
But okay, so let's take this in perspective. Everything he spoke on it, he didn't go into it.
Right.
Big difference. Just like their presidents when we speak on the RICO, one bar. You know what I'm saying? He said that it was all good just a week ago, but now you got the RICO. So
right.
The thing about it is Kendrick. I think more so his description of what's going on in the world is what's setting him apart from everybody else.
Right.
That description and how he makes people feel. We haven't really seen this since Pac. So I just put it like that. Kendrick is an artist. I'm not even trying to classify him as anything else but that.
Right.
It's another level away. It's another level on where he's at. Because I mean, listening to even items or even topics that some people may not agree on, you can agree the explanation, the way that it's put together, the song, the flow, the story is entertaining. He's literally got that ability. Like, that's the thing. Like, you could have, I mean, he talks about topics that are like deep. Like, the album is deep. And you're talking about topics that can make you feel uncomfortable. It can make some people feel uncomfortable. But he's able to make you like, it's like watching a movie and there's a scene that you're like, this is tough. But the scene was acted so well that you're like, man, I got emotional about this scene, even though it was something that I didn't want to see. And that's what Kendrick is being able to do with his songs. Like, that's a talent above any other. When you can literally have something that people may not want to hear, but he can give it to you in a way that you can digest it. And you're like, dang, all right, you made me look at things differently. Or even if I still go, I disagree, you can go like, but I understand. I disagree, but I still understand. Like, that's hard to do.
Even if you think about all the great ones, I mean, what's so great about them for me is they're able to convey a particular message in a way that everybody gets it. You know what I'm saying? That they understand. You know what I'm saying? Just like going back to the Jay situation, which you talking about, he's talking more about life now on the 444 album.
Yeah.
Which I agree. And I just sum it up and say he got to talking more about realness. You know what I'm saying? Like, because when Jay-Z first came out, Jay-Z was street. I mean, he was
Yeah,
street as
that was
hell.
all it was.
Like,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
his like still my most favorite. I think his best piece of work to me still was Reasonable Doubt. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like his first album he came out with. But as a person progresses and they mature and they get money and they live the lifestyle, it's just like, sometimes we get caught up doing that when we're watching a sporting event, you know what I'm saying? Especially if we played the sport. Oh
yeah,
man, that was stupid. That was dumb. Why did he do that? But we're thinking with I don't know how, what I'm saying. I'm 44. So I'm thinking,
hmm
I'm thinking that with a 44-year-old mind. I'm thinking like, wait a minute, Mike, when you were, 19 to 25, you did some pretty stupid stuff as well. You
yeah,
know what
yeah,
I'm saying? So
yeah,
saying all
yeah,
that to say, tying in with Jay, he spoke about, certain things where, a young man from the hood, used to be, drug dealer. Now, you're getting into the corporate stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, I thought he got a little too shy, you know what I'm saying, a little bit, but,
yeah,
and then 444, of course, now you back to talking about the realness, you know what I'm saying, the
yeah,
stuff that, like you said, life, what people go through. You're not, no, you're not talking about the streets and,
yeah,
selling cocaine or crack or that type of deal, you know what I mean? But you back on what the real shit that people go through. You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? Like stuff with your wife,
yeah,
beefing with your family, that type of thing. You know what I mean? So that's my whole thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad he got back to that. And with Kendrick does an amazing job with the tracks that I've heard him, what I'm saying, rap on or feature on or whatever. Like he's nothing but, what I'm saying, like if I can put him underneath the file of, a speaker for hood politics.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's very important because now he can put it in terms and verbalize it to where everybody, whether you're white, black, whatever walk of life that you are, even though it is, hip hop, which is a culture, people are able to relate and identify with what he's speaking on.
yeah, yeah. So what, Brian, what are you feeling about the album in total?
It's a classic. Point blank.
Mm,
Period. It's a classic.
Yeah,
I
My
can't wait to
my
listen to
my
it.
my only thing about it is it's so good. I don't know if everybody's going to get it.
Wow.
yeah,
That could be a good thing. And
Yeah.
for me, because when it comes to hip hop, I'm like I'm still kind of selfish a little bit. Like again, I told you I don't listen to a lot of this new stuff.
yeah.
Like I can't even tell you the last year I've listened to the local radio station. Like you
Oh
know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Nah.
Like
I don't know if anybody does that anymore though.
right, you know what I'm saying? Like seriously,
My
it's
streaming service
crazy.
is on all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hey, cuz I got you though. Cuz it's
Yeah,
the pod, I was very much in that realm of not stepping out of hey, what I was accustomed to, what I enjoyed, going like, hey, ain't nothing out here. Cause especially if you listen to the radio, there's nothing but just trap beats
no doubt.
everywhere, right? So, after doing this pod for a little bit, start doing the music of the week, and I go through. It's not just a list when I put it out here. I actually go through and listen to these albums.
Right,
And
right,
there
right.
has been, I have found those gems that would make you go like, okay, hip hop's not dead. Like there's
True.
people out here carrying it on from 80s, 90s, 2000s before the trap game started. Like there's people out here doing it. You know what I'm saying? And
Right,
I was like,
right,
wow, I didn't realize until I started listening where I'm like, oh, there's cats that's out here really doing something. And I've been
right. No
throwing some
doubt.
albums towards Brian, like, yo, check this out. I mean, hey, I did there was only one female rapper that I would really listen to, and I just liked her dance deals and the way that she got down, and that was Missy. Love Missy Elliott. And I was like, all right, well, there's some other like there's female rappers out right now that are murdering it. And I'm not talking about like Cardi B. I'm not talking about Cardi B. I'm not talking about freaking Nicki Minaj. I'm talking about like
Yeah,
female rappers that be doing it. Like I literally got one on the list that came out Friday. Fire. You know what I'm saying? That's like, hey, doing it. So there's mugs
yeah.
out here that's getting it, man. I'm gonna start sending you some of them albums, man, so you can believe again.
Oh, for sure. Like for real. Please do. But but the crazy thing about it is ones out here that's doing it, but you know, because they're not talking about you know, the normal stuff that the average MC is talking about now, or the rapper, excuse me. There's a
Yeah,
difference.
yeah,
I always say there's a difference between rap and hip hop.
yeah,
But
yeah. Sure.
you know, you get you don't how can I put it? You can't, I don't know, like I don't know. It's hard for me to put it in words, man. As far as like
No,
with the new, they're just hidden. Like you got to literally go searching high
Oh
and
yeah,
low
you
yeah,
gotta dig.
for, you know what I'm
You
saying,
gotta dig it. Like what they say, the DJs used to say, you gotta dig in the crate, baby.
bruh.
You
Like
gotta dig in the crate, man.
it's crazy, and it's
Yeah, you
like,
gotta go
you
find
know.
it.
It's almost like, you know what I'm saying, you trying to, you know, break the Da Vinci Code or something, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, you know, it's still real music, you know, hip hop connoisseurs out here, like, you know what I'm saying, yourself, Brian,
Yeah,
and me, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, we want to hear that stuff. We don't mind the new stuff too. Now, if I'm out having a drink and I'm out of time, I don't club, but if I'm out of
yeah.
time, I want to step out.
Turn
I don't
up.
mind listening to some of the stuff, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yep.
as they call them, toe tappers, but you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But me just, you know, listen to something that has substance and
Hmm.
things of that nature, I'm not gonna do it. But now it is a young lady out, and I want you to check her out. Her name is Lyric Jones.
Okay.
She's
She nice with it.
rap,
She's nice. Like
rap to me.
I'm talking about, like, my favorite female rapper all the time is MC Light.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Like
And
it just.
her delivery is like kind of similar to that a little bit. You know
Uh-huh.
what I'm saying? Like she real cold, man.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
get a chance, check her out, man. Lyric
yeah,
Jones, bro.
yeah. We're gonna have to we'll have to hit it up because I know we got a few out here, and when we get to the next segment here, we'll run through. They had a lot of albums that came out this Friday, and we'll go
Mm,
ahead and we spoke on Kendrick. We'll be able to speak on Kendrick some more here in the future, and finding out how people are taking in stuff. We got a new segment that we are looking to put together that may be with myself and Brian. We may be breaking down popular albums or new albums that we select that we want to give y'all a deep dive into everything that's going on with that album. So we're looking to possibly
that's
putting
what's
that
up.
as some additional content that may be going on to our page on YouTube and Facebook and everything, so we can kind of give y'all some insight, deeper dives into some of the albums that come out, and they may be ones that may not be playing on the radio, but just give y'all some insight on, like, man, this is some real good stuff that's going on. So from saying that, we're gonna move on to the music of the week. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this on here real quick. Let's get to this music of the week real fast. I'm gonna show that real quick. We got the music of the week popping off. It's been a great week here. We got the team for sure that's doing it. Like you say, the new releases for May 13th,
Okay.
2022. It's been good stuff. We had a few out here that have been doing their thing. Really enjoyed a lot of the albums that was taking place. We got Black Youngster for Life, had 23 songs on there. We got
Yeah.
ASAP Ant, Little Black Jean Jacket 3, 16 songs. Johan Lennox, man, that's some letters, man. I figured it out what it meant, but then I think it's like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I think that's what that means. So yeah, it's long. It's a whole bunch of letters. 15 songs on that. The Boy, You Can't Tame Us, 11 songs. You got Quinnell Chris, Death Fame, 14 songs. EBK, I think that's Everybody Knows Young Jock. I'm figuring this stuff out, man. Like, I'm an old head. I'm starting to figure out all this stuff. City of God, 10 songs. You got Filthy Rich, FOD, The Infrastructure, 26 songs. Paris Bryant, A Trip to Paris, 15 songs. Kendrick Lamar, put a star right beside that. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, 18 songs. You got Obong JR, Some Nights I Dream of Doors, 12 songs. That's a good album. Little Easy, Too Easy, 10 songs. L. Kelly, 47, Shape Up, another great album, 14 songs. Tank and the Bangers, Red Balloons, another great album, 15 songs. And then you got Onyx, some old school, came out with a new album, Onyx verse everybody 10 songs. So those are the ones that had come out. As you can see, this giant list. I read them off for you, let you know what that was about. And then we've got my choices, mid Ketchup selections. What we got Kendrick Lamar, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, 18 songs. We got some soulful West Coast, some thought-provoking West Coast. Some of my faves, N95, We Cry Together, Purple Hearts, Survivor, Rich Spirit. Good song. There's more, like the whole album. I just put some up there, like just listen to the whole album. It's fantastic. All right, Paris Bryant. This is one of them young dudes that understands what hip hop is. Paris Bryant, A Trip to Paris. 15 songs. Mad, Make Time, Slide, Dangerous. Good guy. Good album. Dude is only like 20 years old or something like that. Good album. Obang JR, Some Night I Dream of Doors, 12 songs. It's like African or Caribbean, like hip hop. He has an accent, R&B flavor. Message in a Hammer, really good song. And Tinko, very good song, man. Like his album is like one of those where if you got down here in Florida for sure, or if we was up in Ohio and I was having a barbecue, you know what I'm saying? You know what's up, Brian? Having a barbecue, man, I would throw his album on. And it's just a vibe. You be like, oh shoot, like you got a band playing in your backyard. They somehow throw some 808s on the back, and you was like, oh, this is fire, man. He throw a little, he got the accent with it. It's dope. And then you got the Kelly 47 Shape Up, 14 songs. Chitty Bang, LL Cool J, dope song. Done Right, dope song. Like I can tell you right now, as a production that you want to feel on that 47, that Shape Up, fire production on that Shape Up. It is dope. Like it was one of those things where you haven't seen or I haven't felt on all the albums production that have been put together like that on a lot of the stuff that's been going on. So I really appreciate those, the new albums, the new songs that came out during that time frame. It's been fantastic on all the stuff that's been going on. So make sure that y'all check out those songs and those albums for the music of the week. So hey, I will cuz I'm gonna make sure that I send you some of those albums, man, so you can
please,
you can check them out, man. I'll send you a list of some of those deals.
Yeah, I don't want to miss out, man. I don't want to feel like the old dude that's still wearing corduroys to the club, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some new stuff out there with some substance, dog. I need it, bro.
Yeah, man. I mean, and the thing is like, if the wife enjoys a little hip hop or a little vibe, man, that's some good stuff to put on. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
You be like, okay, you want to get ready for bed, throw some vibes on. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's good.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's a good.
They
got some good stuff going on out there. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and make sure that y'all check that out on all your platforms. And have a good time. Let us know what y'all think about some of those albums that are out there. All right, man. So now we're gonna push over because this is the whole point, man. We trying to make sure that we are uplifting all those black minority folks that out here doing big things, man. And one of the people I thought about, when he was putting this podcast together, you know what I'm saying? He was in the top 10. You see, we only on episode 10 right now, man. Oh, for sure, Mike was on my mind. You know what I'm saying? My cousin Mike Ward. Rather Unique Barbershop, doing this thing in Tampa, Riverview, Brandon area, making sure he taking care of folks' head, making sure that they look shining, going out, you know what I'm saying, being able to do their thing whenever and wherever they are. So I just want to start out, man, proud of you, man. Like, it's just one of those where it's like, but moving down here, we used to see each other at family reunions and things like that, but like being able to see you at work, doing your work, doing your craft, it's one of those where it's like, that's dope. Like it's been amazing because I mean, y'all been in there, had took my son in, you've been cutting them up, lining them up, man. It's been like award-winning type haircuts, man. That you've been putting on them. And
I appreciate that, man.
it's one of those things like being a part of that lineage, that tree. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
knowing that we got bloodline, man, it's always one of those things to be proud of family when they out here doing things like that and showing out. You know what I mean? So
Sure. I
um
appreciate that, bro.
yeah, so I always want to start out with, you know what I'm saying, how much did, you know, the community atmosphere of being like having a barbershop or you know the barber, like how did that influence like your pursuit of the career? Was that anything, you know, like give me some insight into that community atmosphere in the barbershop.
I mean, it's you want your barbershop. Anybody who is a barbershop owner or a business owner, period. I mean, doesn't necessarily have to be a barbershop, but in particular, a barbershop. You want that to kind of reflect and emulate who you are as a person.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? Like, just down to earth, real, what I'm saying? Spontaneous, just because a lot of stuff will happen in the barbershop at the snap of a finger.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? Um, but you want that good, wholesome vibe. I never forget my mom used to say a long time ago when people used to come over and visit, she'd tell them, hey, get comfortable, relax. You know what I'm saying? We have a home, not a house.
Right,
You got
right,
a lot of beautiful barber shops and stuff that are out there, but do people feel at home? You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I've actually said I was gonna change my the name to my barber shop to Rather Unique Barber Lounge instead of barber shop,
Okay.
because if you think of the word lounge, the number one word that comes to mind is comfortability. You know what I'm saying? Comfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you want to be comfortable, wherever you go, a restaurant, what I'm saying, a hotel, wherever. So barbershop is one of those things where you have to, or that's actually a part of your life, which is a part of the community from our, view of the lens. So, we want to try to do our best to, like I said, be real, be real with our customers, our clients, whomever, decides to patronize us or whatever, and it's a good feeling to, not be from here, to start a business here. And, with people, like yourself, military and things of that nature, and they're like, wow, this reminds me of the barbershop that I grew up in. And
Mhm.
that's like the biggest compliment, what I'm saying, to me and to our barbering staff. That's what we want. We want everybody to feel comfortable. We want everybody to feel at home. We want you to have that feel like, because we have, I don't know if you know, but just being down here in the in the Tampa Bay area, we have people that travel like far away just to come get their hair cut. And that's why I tell any barber that works underneath the Rather Unique name in my barber shop is, what makes this shop different? What makes your haircut different? What makes your service that you're providing different
Mhm.
than all the other shops? Because you pass, just you yourself, you pass a lot of barbershops coming to Rather Unique Barbershop.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people. I got people that come from Orlando, which is like 88 miles away. I
Yeah.
got people that come from an hour away in Spring Hill and Hudson, Wesley Chapel. These places aren't close. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Some people drive, in heavy traffic. They're on the road an hour and a half, 2 hours just to come get a haircut.
Yeah.
You know, so we have to make sure that we're consistent in who we are. You know what I'm saying? And then the service that we're providing, and try to provide a clean atmosphere for, yeah. Even though it's a barbershop slash barber lounge, if it's a older lady or a younger lady, whomever is in who's in the shop, because we have a lot of single parents that bring their children, their young men to the shop to get their hair cut. We want to make sure that it's definitely a clean atmosphere and fun and relaxing atmosphere for everybody who comes in to patronize us.
Yeah, man. I know it's been great to be able to see that and everything that has been going on with the change in the barbershop. I know you went from one location, changed up, got a bigger venue, got some more space in there. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
I know it was difficult trying to get all that stuff done and make it happen,
man,
but
you have
I
no
mean,
clue.
it was I know it was nice with it. So, Brian, you
Yeah,
got
it was.
any questions?
Yeah, I got one.
Yeah,
First,
go
I want to say congratulations.
I appreciate it,
Uh,
bro.
I actually drive from Columbus back to Dayton, which is an hour away. Dayton is where I grew up at because
Right.
of my barber. And
Right.
one of the things I wanted to, ask you is, you said that you want to change your barbershop and let it be known as a lounge so that it can be comfortable for people to come in and feel, at home. So
Right.
my question to you is, how often during the week of providing your services, besides being a barber, are you a therapist?
That's a very good question. Um, yeah, and to answer your question just plainly, yes, you're a therapist to a lot. I mean, that's why I say it's my job to provide a comfortable atmosphere, and the other barber's job to provide a comfortable atmosphere, because my job, the hardest thing about my job is getting there. You know what I'm saying? Is the actual, the physical drive from my house to the barbershop. That is like the worst thing in the world for me. But it's like, soon as I walk in, it's like that, oh, like I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Like, and everything, you know what I'm saying, is I'm now I can just focus on my art and my craft. But um basically, to answer your question, man, it's like, we're, yes, we are therapists, bro. Like, there's so many people, and I'm talking about people who, I don't care if they make 40 grand a year, I don't care if they make 400 grand a year. You know what I'm saying? People deal with a lot of stuff, and you just don't know sometimes what somebody is dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Where I don't care, they can pull up in a damn four-door Porsche. They're coming to get a haircut, you know what I'm saying, with, suit and tie on or whatever. But when they sit down and they feel comfortable enough to talk to you, and they feel like they need somebody to talk to, you just have no clue what people are going through. And a lot of times, our biggest form of therapy is just listening.
Mm.
I always tell people, to be a successful barber, I don't care about your eyes, I don't care about, your skill set, the tools you use. Your best tool as a barber is your ears, because you have to hear what somebody's telling you to do, you know what I'm saying, as far as what they want to receive or
Yeah.
service. So with you being a good listener, you have to be a good listener all the way around the board. And somebody comes in with, issues and problems, be there for them to listen to them. And they'll let you know if they want feedback or anything else of that nature. But yeah, man, I I'm like the Black Dr. Phil, bro. I just got pimples in my hands. You know what I'm saying? Seriously.
Hey, man. Yeah, I know it can. That's one of those things, man. If you're able to sit down, no, barbershop for sure. Just because everybody will let it fly. People get comfortable,
Right,
especially you've been in there multiple times. You know what I'm saying? You end up joking with every single person in there. Like I've been in there. I ain't got my haircut one time, but
right.
I'm out there I'm giving dap to all the barbers. I ain't
Absolutely,
gave, you know what I'm saying? Like
absolutely.
I'm paying for my son or whatever, but I'm giving dap to
Right.
all the barbers. I'm talking to everybody. Like when I
Yeah.
walk in, they like, oh, what's up, man? Like it's one of those things, but I haven't sat in nobody's seat the entire
And that's
time that I've
and
been
that's
there.
and
You know what
that's
I'm saying?
and that's our thing, man. And our style, that's something that we hold dear
Right.
to us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're gonna make money with doing what we do, of course, true indeed. But
Right.
we want to touch and embrace and say what's up to everybody. Like, and it's a formality when you walk in the door. I don't
Yeah.
care who's servicing you, who's cutting your hair, you know what I'm saying, or if you're getting a haircut or not. You come to the first chair, you give Lewis dap, you give Soup dap, you come give me dap, you give Bud dap, and then, you know what
Yep.
I'm saying, you have a seat. You know what I'm saying? And that's I've been doing that for years, since I've been owning the shop, because I always wanted that brotherhood, and or sisterhood, you know what I'm saying, when they
Yeah.
come in the barbershop, man. So yeah, that's very important. That's
Yeah.
very important. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
It's
So
all it's
yeah, it's
always
not it's
been
not
good.
just a yeah, it's not just a business. Come in, sit down, all right, I'm next. All right, cool. No, man, we want to have a relationship with everybody. And
Yeah.
and, and we have relationships, and I'm glad we have cross relationships too. Like, I've been friends with guys for over 5 years, and I haven't cut their hair not one time. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? The other barber cuts their hair, but because they're cool, and they feel like I'm cool, and everything is straight. You know what I'm saying? We hang out, and we're gonna grab a drink or a cigar or something like that, and we
Yeah.
kick it. You know what I'm saying? We have relationships outside of the barbershop as well. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, that's
Yeah, man.
very
That's
important to have, man.
yeah, that's big when you can develop those things even
It
past,
is. It
just
is.
the collection or the service and the collection of money. You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
we cool. You know what I'm saying? It's like and also it's one of those
No
things
doubt.
where and I always felt, when I first got down here, you know what I'm saying, like because you was up north and then you moved down here, it wasn't like we was cousins where we was seeing each other all the time, spending and hanging out or
Right. No
whatnot. But
doubt.
we fam.
Right.
So
Right.
everybody
Right.
was like, all right,
Right.
man, hey, my
Fact.
cousin down there, cool. I'm going straight to my cousin barbershop. First place I went was like,
Believe
yo,
that.
where the barbershop?
Right.
I'm coming to your
Right.
barbershop, you know what I'm saying? We gonna kick it. And it was one of those things
Right.
where it's like, as soon as I got there, it was just like, yo, man, like we fam, like it's what it is, and
No
he
doubt. No
always
doubt.
always took care of us, you know what I'm saying? And it was never a situation where um the service is impeccable, man. And I was never
Right.
one where I was gonna be like, especially, after seeing the first two cuts, and I was like,
Yeah.
all right, cool, man. Like I'm not a
Right.
family member that's gonna be like, yo, what a family discount or nothing. I was like, oh,
Right. 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 Right.
cool. I
Right.
was like,
Right. I'm the same
I
way,
was
man.
I was like,
I'm the same
cool,
way.
like, yeah, let's
I appreciate I appreciate people for what they do and what they provide as far as service wise. So like I
mhm.
said, family or not, I want to support you. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
man.
saying? I want to do, you know what I'm saying? That's why I told you, and I apologize for my tardiness, but
Oh no, that's
I
good.
like when you asked me, you know what I'm saying, to do this, man, that was a no-brainer. It wasn't a second guess. It wasn't nothing, man. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, so it's additionally, and knowing that being a barber is a skill and a service that you provide, like
Right.
with the artistry that goes into being a barber. You know what I mean? Like I look at it like it's kind of in the scope of like tattooing as well.
Right.
Like tattoo artists is like some people like, oh man, you just draw on skin. And then people be
Right.
like, no, but then you use like people that are artists, man. And like I've
Right.
seen you put in work, man. And I would very much not put you in this is a craft. I'd be like, you are an artist when you are
I
doing what you
appreciate
do, man.
that.
Like how
I
how did
appreciate
you
that.
was it something that was from when you were young that it kind of just gravitated towards you, and were you an artist when you were young as well? That puts you into
Um,
this space?
I've always taken a liking to art. I mean, and even like art like overseas, like where it just looks like people just stuck their hands in paint and just flung it on a damn wall or
Yeah.
on a vinyl or something like that. I've always like looked at art like wow. And cutting hair has always been like an art form to me as well. Growing up, well, first off, for starters, I've been cutting hair, man. That's gonna be a shocker to a lot, to most, but literally, I've been cutting hair since I was 11 years old. The
Eh,
summer,
yeah.
the summer of my fifth grade, going into the sixth grade, that's when I picked up clippers for the first time. A
Eh,
guy that used to live down the street from me named Kareem Brown. Shout out to Kareem, man. He's like the best freaking barber like I've ever encountered in my life. Like
mhm.
I used to go down there and just sit on his porch, man, and just watch him cut people's hair. Like,
Right,
you
right.
know what I'm saying, just all day. He would take like them big old clippers from like
Mhm.
Walmart or up north we had Myers,
Mhm.
you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like he would get
Yep.
some of them like the wall home cuts and he would cut like Jordan shoes in the back, martini glass, and it would be so perfect. And it's you know what I'm saying? I used to be like, wow, I'm like, man, I want to do that.
Yeah.
So then once I started cutting hair at 11, I remember my parents asked me at the age of 13, what do I want to be when I grow up? As with the rest of our family, we got
Yeah.
football background. So I study, I either want to go to the NFL, I want to go to the Air Force, or I want to be a barber. So
Yeah.
with me doing one of those things that I set out to be, when I said it at the age of 13, I feel like
Yeah.
I made it. You know what I'm saying? Not made it
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I can get comfortable, but made it like, all right, I'm in the game. I'm doing what I said I wanted to do, and I love what I do. Like, one of my barbers asked me not too long ago, man, you always come to work, man. On certain Mondays, man, you just be motivated. I'm like, bro, I'm like, I've been doing this. I'm like, I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. That's why I'm not just one that I'm a barber. I get off at 6 o'clock. We close at 6, but sometimes I'm not locking the door to like 10, 15 at night
Yeah.
due to the high volume of clientele that I personally have. You know what
Right,
I'm
right.
saying? And I just love what I do. You're not gonna find too many 322-pound dudes that can stand up for 12 and 14 hours out of the day like I
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
I
And
mean,
like
that's the
yeah,
love.
man, for sure, for sure. And I try to reinvent myself all the time because you want to stay just like with any other sport, basketball, football, you know, offensive change, defensive change. So you want to stay relevant, you know what I'm saying, in the game. So always, you know, watch and scout others around the country who are, you know, considered the top barbers and stuff, and you know, make sure I stay, you know, on top of my stuff. Or as my boy Nas will say, stay chiseled. You know what I'm saying? So you know, I always got to make sure I stay chiseled, man, with what I do.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt, man. You got anything?
Yeah, I got another question for Mike. So, seeing that you've been doing this for a long time and you took to it at an early age, what was the most difficult thing that you mastered as far as when it comes to cutting hair?
Um, actually, it's a tie. Actually, and I'll give you both real quick. Um, one thing was doing all nationalities uh type of hair. So when people actually come to my barber shop now, and it's funny because you'll get people of non-color, you know, white people, you know, they'll come to the shop and they'll peek their head in and they're like, can you they'll start grabbing their hair. Can you can you cut this kind of hair? I said, and I tell them the same thing. I'm saying, sweetie or sir, listen, I don't care if you're maroon with lime green polka dots on your left ass cheek. If you have hair, I can
I
cut your
got
hair.
you.
You know what I'm saying? Period. And that's always been my, you know, like goal. Like I always thought I'd like to do a better, you know, haircut on a white gentleman, better than a great clips or a bow ricks or super cuts or, you know, whatever else of that nature.
Right,
And
right.
they love the way that we cut hair. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? But so it was, you know, just doing different nationalities and just really studying hair. Like I didn't just pick up clippers and just start cutting. Like I actually was like when I was in school, I'm reading and I'm like learning and studying, you know, the hair, you know, how the hair, different, you know, texture of hair is grown, you know, different colics and things of that nature, how you remove it. So I was like into it, you know what I'm saying?
right, right.
So and
Yeah.
then the other thing, believe it or not, man, it's gonna sound crazy, but talking to people. I
Okay.
would sit you in my chair, bro, and I would cut your hair. You had the best fucking haircut ever, but you be like, damn, all I, you know, dude just, you know, heard me breathe for 35, 40 minutes, you know, and I never forget I was in school. Shout out to my instructor, man, and Mr. Jackie, man. He was like, he said, man, you're a great barber, man. He said, but one thing that you got to do is make people feel comfortable in your chair. He
Yeah,
said, and that's just talk to them. He said, ask a few questions. They'll talk and they'll dictate the conversation. All you're
yeah,
doing is just making them feel comfortable. You know, hey, how you doing? You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Or what's going on?
Hmm.
Um,
That's it.
you know what I'm saying? Or, you know, hey, how you doing? Or, you know, hey, any plans for the weekend or whatever. Then they'll just take off from there and just go, you know, so it's just getting
Right, right.
comfortable with just talking with people. Cause you know, I know, I know as you can when you come in the shop now, because you hear me, you know, cracking
Oh,
jokes and
that's good. Yeah.
doing stuff like that. Like, trust me, bro. Like 15, 20 years ago, bro, I wasn't doing it unless it was I was cutting somebody's hair that I knew. You know
Right,
what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
But just to talk to a person who you absolutely have no clue who they are. You don't know if they're, you know, if they work at the Pentagon or they're goddamn the son of Sam sitting in your
Right,
chair.
right.
You know what I'm saying? But I talk to everybody. That's my whole thing. That's my whole approach. I want everybody to feel comfortable.
Right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying when they come in. So it would definitely be talking, you know, and being more verbal with that client that's in the chair there. You know what I'm saying at that particular moment.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
questions, by
man.
the way. Very good questions.
Yeah, that's you know, I mean, that's tough for a lot of people, man. I mean, no
It,
different
it
than,
is.
you know, I mean, trying like my son. I mean, even for him, you know, what I mean, I try to push him to
Right.
talk. I mean, you seen him in the chair, he be
Yeah, for
like,
sure. Yeah, at first he wouldn't say nothing. So, and I make sure I crack, little crazy jokes, man. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
I know how to make people talk. Man. I've actually mastered that to
yeah,
make people talk to
yeah.
me now. You know what I'm
So
saying? So,
yeah,
but
so I
no,
mean,
that's
you
that's
seen him,
that's
man.
great.
He be quiet sometimes. I mean,
Yeah,
now I think now he done got 18. We kind of giving him a little more like, hey, you a grown up type deal. So now
right,
he kind of
sure.
feeling like, okay, I can kind of be around and say some
Yeah, yeah,
things
yeah,
and
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah, no
okay,
doubt.
man, come on,
But
dude,
think about it,
go.
how we grew up though. That's how we
Oh
grew up
yeah,
in the
we
barbershops that we
wasn't
grew up in as we were kids. You
we
know what I'm
wasn't getting in
saying?
that
What's
conversation,
up?
dog.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's how we grew as
Yeah.
kids, growing up
Mhm.
on to, what I'm saying, being grown men. The barbershop kind of raised us. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Because if they was like my dad, bro, like growing up, when I was leaving for school, dad was in the bed asleep. When I came home from school, dad was at work. I
Yeah.
didn't see my dad to the weekend. So, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So going to the barbershop, that was very instrumental in my life, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, to see other men, you know what I'm saying, especially other men of color, handling business,
Yeah.
doing whatever, you know what I'm saying, and just,
Get
talking
to
with people, you know what I'm
get to
saying? I
hear
don't care if
some
they was a pastor or they was the hood dope dealer, you know what I'm saying?
yep.
It was just,
Yeah.
you
Hear some
know, that
interesting conversations, some jokes you
man,
probably
big
wouldn't have
time.
heard Pops talk about when he was at the crib or anything, you know what I
Right, exactly. Exactly.
mean? So man.
Exactly. Yeah, man.
Uh
So that's
so knowing I got another one for you, man. Knowing the influence of the barbershop and whatnot, and you
right.
already talked about your music, man, like where you're at in music wise. Like what's the influence and how important is music, in the barbershop, man? How important is that to the vibe? How important is that to the that can spark conversation, that can give that comfort to everybody? Like how important is that when you go, what's the playlist for the day? What's the what I'm saying? Like how important is that?
This is gonna sound crazy, but the playlist of the day um is the people. And I know that
Okay.
sounds crazy, it sounds simple, but I got a young barber, well, Bud, who's in the shop. Bud is 31, he'll be 32.
Hmm.
The other barber is myself. I'm the second oldest, what I'm saying, in the shop. At
Yeah.
44, I'll be 45 this year. And then Lewis or Super, he'll be 48 coming up in another month. So, you got almost a 20-year gap, you know what I'm saying, an 18-year
Yeah.
gap, what I'm saying, in employees. But I always tell them we play music according to who's in the shop.
Right. Right.
So if we got, you know, your dad, cousin Norm come in and a
Yeah.
couple other older gentlemen who come in the barber shop, you know what I'm saying? We they don't want to hear ride waves.
Throw
You know
some
what
throw some
I'm saying?
Commodores on. You
Right.
know
They,
what I
they don't they
mean?
don't they don't he don't want to hear Jeezy the Snowman. He
Yeah.
can't relate
Yeah.
to that. So we'll put on some Motown, or we'll put on some jazz, or some classic R&B or something
Okay.
like that. So it's the people who we kind of dictate to. Now normally we get a younger crowd that usually comes after like 5 or 6 o'clock. So yeah,
Yeah.
we'll go ahead and crank on the Jay-Z or the Kanye or the Jeezy
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and the J. Cole and stuff like that, man. You know what I'm saying? We'll turn on them, and that also motivates us during the day as well. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So like I tell people, I got the best job in the world, bro. Like I can, if I choose, like I'm making money while I'm talking. Yeah, I'm talking to people who I care about, who I like, who I know. If I choose to, I can drink on the job, you know what I'm saying? Which, by the way, when I do drink, my skills get a little more crispy and a little more sharp. But I don't want to offend nobody, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man.
Cheers.
So that's
Hey, there you
that's
go. There you go. So
yeah,
really, you should have been in the
yeah.
shop, man. We could
Salute
have
for
had
sure,
to.
for
We could have had
sure.
it in
Hey,
the
I
shop.
I tell you what, man. We should do that one time, bro. On a Sunday, man. We'll go to the shop, set it up however you want to, and
Yeah,
we'll
that'd
shoot a
be dope.
podcast from the shop, bro.
Hey, man. Yeah, we had to knock that out. That'd be dope, man.
Yeah, no doubt, for sure, for sure, for sure.
Yo, so all right, man. So I feel it, man. That's nice that you got the little DJ setup where it's like, okay, we adjust to the customer, man. Always making
Yeah,
people feel comfortable. I mean,
Oh,
that's
wait till
you
you
know,
come
that's
in next time, man. We got the surround sound set up now. So yeah.
oh, hold up, hold
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
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 that's
yeah,
dope,
yeah,
baby. That's
yeah,
dope,
yeah,
baby.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
so
gonna be
we
good,
good.
man.
So
Hey, look, when I retire, man, I'm gonna have to come out there, like start getting the beer game. You know, I can't
man,
do nothing with that since I'm
you,
in the Air Force right now. But when
yeah,
I get the beer game site, I have to come up
yeah,
there and let them
yeah.
get
You
busy
know
with
I
the
got
beer.
you. You know I got you for sure.
All right, man. So it's you got one more for
I
us?
got one more. I got
All
one
right,
more.
man. This
Talk
we
to me.
gonna we
Talk
gonna
to me.
ride. This is gonna be the last one, and then we're gonna move on. Go
All
ahead,
right.
man.
So you talked about how conversation is very important, and
Correct.
so where I come from, that is also the same. The same thing. Now,
Right.
what I want to ask you is, what was the last spirited conversation that took place in the barbershop?
The last spirited conversation.
Mhm.
Did it get aggressive in
You,
there?
now that's I mean, because depend on and I don't want to get too detailed with as far as what's
Yeah,
your
I got you.
definition of spirited, but any time where there is injustice, um amongst people of color, or people against people in poverty, or that type of deal, man. So
Mhm.
we always have those, even at times, we get in, people they are, and I don't know who came up with that narrative of, oh, in the work environment, you should never talk about politics or religion. But
Mm.
I think that's been taught and instilled in us to the point to where we actually believe it, which we should have those conversations, because
Yeah.
I don't care what you believe in. If you're a real person, I respect you from your view
Mhm.
and
Right.
from and your on look on life. You know what I'm saying? Like and that's real, man. I mean, because you know, I may not be a Catholic, I may not be a what I'm saying, a Muslim, or I may not be, a Methodist, or any other religion, or atheist or whatever. But if I respect you as an individual, that's all that matters.
Mm.
And I may not believe what you believe in, but I respect your angle that you're coming from
Right.
when it
Right.
comes, saying down to, understanding and knowing what you believe in. You know what I'm saying? So, there's always, those different um spiritual or spirited type of conversations going on in the barbershop. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it could be something, local with the people just coming together, or
Right.
anything
Right.
else of that nature. So, you know what I'm saying? So, you get a lot of those. You know what I'm saying? You definitely get a lot of those. So,
Good stuff.
not too often, but I do like it when we get on them, because it's not like a sports conversation. A sports conversation might go for a specific topic, may go for anywhere from 3 to 10, 15 minutes. But that particular conversation that you're talking about,
Yeah.
which I think that you're talking about, I mean, hell, you get a person that'll finish getting their haircut and they'll stay at the shop for another hour and a half, two
Yeah.
hours,
Mhm.
Yeah.
just debating and talking about it. You
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
For sure.
So those are the real, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes, voice tones get elevated. Not that we're arguing or, going at each other or bickering, but because the
Right. Right.
individual is passionate
Right.
about
Right.
what they're
Yeah.
saying and what they believe in. So,
Yeah.
you know
Exactly.
what I'm saying? So that's definitely needed
Yeah.
in the barbershop, because you need to have those type of conversations, man. It's okay to, it's time for us to stop feeling so comfortable about certain things. It's time to have those uncomfortable conversations. You know what I'm saying? And that's the
Yeah.
only way that we can learn from them and heal from them, and get better. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? As people. So
And
Always.
and
Always.
that's why I drive an hour away, and that's why
that's
people
what's up.
drive 2 hours to come and see you. Good job.
For sure. For
Yeah,
sure.
man. All right, man. So of course, there's one more thing that we got to do. We always got to respect your deck, man. So we always got to respect your deck and understand where you came from musically, what motivated you musically, what goes on with you musically, man. So we got to look at it like this. So knowing to respect your Jack, we gotta ask you, man, what's your number one, your favorite? If you on the island, what's your
Oh
favorite
man.
album that you would be taking with you? You gotta pack a bag, man. You got one pair of drawers, some socks, and some shorts and a shirt, and then they said you get one album, man. What's that
One
album you bringing with you, man?
one album that I'm bringing with me.
Yeah.
Gosh, let's see. Um, well, let me say this real quick because I gotta do this in all respect. My favorite rapper in the whole wide world is Nas.
Okay.
Okay, but
Got
if I'm taking one album with me, if I'm on an island, one pair of drawers, one outfit, I can just listen the whole time.
yeah.
I gotta go back to 1995, bro, to the Purple Tape, man. Raekwon,
Okay.
only built for Cuban links.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
There you
bro.
go. There you go. There
Yeah,
you go.
yeah,
All
man.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
Actually,
day.
actually, actually, Nas featured
mm-hmm.
on that album on a song called Verbal Intercourse.
Oh, that
It's
thing is
so
amazing.
it's so funny because my senior year in high school in '95, bro, before every game, I used to have that song on repeat
Mm-hmm.
in my Discman. Like I probably listened to that mug man about 26 times in a row, dog. Like right before it's time to hit the field, and I just be so charged and juiced for whatever reason.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
song did it. That
That
song
was
did
it.
it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
even now as a bowler, man, if I know I got a big tournament coming up or whatever else on the way to the bowling alley, bro, I'm popping that in. And it's time to get it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
got you.
yeah,
I got
yeah,
you. All right. So then look, I mean, based on just that, man. So what's that one song? What's your go-to song? What's that juice? I mean, you already told me the one that got that juice, man. Unless there's
yeah.
a different one.
Um, right after verbal intercourse, I'm going incarcerated scar faces.
Ooh.
Okay. All right,
Yeah,
man.
man.
All right.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That's dope.
If I could dap you,
yeah.
I'd dap you right now. That's it.
Hey, we can put it up to the screen, bro.
There you go.
No doubt,
There
no
you
doubt,
go. That's
no
dope. That's
doubt.
dope.
Yeah,
All right, man. So we got those two now. We gotta finish out with the artist, man. And I mean, you kind of said it before. If that's gonna still be the answer, that one artist that you be like, hey, man, if they drop their catalog and you was like, hey, I gotta just go with that dude. That's my guy. And
yeah,
is
man.
it different than what you said before?
No, bro, it's Nas, man.
Nas
Like
all day.
yeah, Nas all day. Like, and the crazy thing about it, like all his albums, depending on what I'm going through personally in my life at that particular moment,
Yeah,
it's something. It's an album that he has I can pop in, I can relate to that. You know, what I'm
got
saying aspect of life that I'm doing. Or I just, sometimes you just upset, you just ride, you just feel like getting thugged out a little bit
you. Yeah,
musically.
yeah,
You
I
know what I'm
got
saying? And you know, you just, pop it. Hey, pop one in, man, and kind of decompress a little bit. But no, Nas definitely, bro. Nas all day long. Yes, sir.
All right, man. All right. So we got Nas as the number one finisher on that one, man. So I really appreciate you cuz man coming
Hey,
through,
no doubt, man. I
hanging out
appreciate you
with
for
us,
having me, man.
man. Hanging out with us, man. It's been great understanding you more, understanding your business more. Make sure that y'all, if you in the Tampa area, man, y'all come check out Rather Unique Barber Lounge. Because I'm gonna go ahead and change the name for you, man. Barber
Yeah, man.
Lounge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Come
appreciate it.
check us
Appreciate
out.
it.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let you go ahead. Hey, where can they find you on Instagram, man?
They can find us on Instagram at sign Rather Unique Barbers. You can also find us we're actually on TikTok now as well. You can
All
find
right.
us on Facebook on the Rather Unique Barbershop. And you can actually just simply pull us up on Google as well, man. So, and also too, man, I just want to let it be known that we were, as far as small businesses, and I have to show you the picture Google actually mailed me a certificate for being one of the few small businesses in the Tampa Bay area to maintain a 4.9 or above rating um, in such a short time being in existence. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right, man.
Normally, you know what I'm saying, we held it down for like 3, 4 years. You know what I'm saying?
There
So
you go.
appreciate that, man. No
Hey,
doubt, no
good
doubt.
stuff, dog. Good
Yeah,
stuff, man.
man. Appreciate
Hey,
it.
family out here doing big things, man. I really
Trying to,
appreciate
man.
you, man. Y'all go check him if y'all in the Tampa Bay area, man. Come visit my cuz, man. He gonna cut you up nice. I mean, if you get
For
on that
sure.
rather unique, you probably gonna see my son on there. My man,
Fact.
you know what I'm saying? My son he light skinned, he be out there, got the little thin curlies, boy. That mug look clean. We be telling him
No
every
doubt.
time. We tell him every time, man. Every time we get a cut, we be like, yo, man, you need to go get a job, go ask a girl out, like do whatever you need to do in
Right.
this
Seriously.
next hour and a half after you get this haircut, man. Do everything.
Right. For sure. For sure. For
You
sure.
looking good up there. So, all right, man, we about to move on to the almost top 4. So I put together a list of almost top 4, the top hip hop producers.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna, you know what I mean. So I did research on it too. So I was doing some research,
Top
man.
4 hip hop producers.
Top
Wow.
4 hip hop producers. So this was a tough one. And I mean, they're gonna go where your brain probably gonna go. The order may be a little bit different because they're gonna kind of touch different areas.
Right.
There was some stuff that I had to put in there due to the fact that some of the producers, of course, going outside of hip hop, started in hip hop, but went outside of hip hop, which I say that played in their favor and added bonus points for them. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this list out. So at number 4, so a lot of people in hip hop would say, "Hey, man, he's probably number 1 dude." My man was just at the Super Bowl doing big things. I'm gonna say Dr. Dre is at number 4, man. Reason I put Dr. Dre at number 4, he done disappeared. He came, he brought the fire, and then he kind of just hasn't really been around. He's only done like ones and twos. He's there. He jumped on M album every once in a while. It's been like at the beginning of the whole run. I mean, he killed it with some JJ Fast, Supersonic. Like he had some joints that was fire. You know what I'm saying? And he was killing it. And you know, Death Row Records, smashing, doing his thing. And then after Chronic 2001, man, my man just kind of was like, all right, he really just disappeared and kind of was just onesie twosies. Eminem was doing some tracks on his, even with Eminem's tracks. M started doing his tracks, and it wasn't as much Dre. So it was one of those things that he kind of like faded a little bit. Still had the nostalgia. Everybody loved it. He has forever freaking songs, but it was one of those things that because of the longevity situation and because of the not being able to branch into other things based on just his production, I was like, hey, you got to go at 4. So then at number 3, I got my man and my favorite producer. I got my man Timberland. So at number 3, I got Timberland, right? So Timberland kind of had a run of, he started out with kind of was on the freaking Devontae Swing. He was in that kind of group in Virginia where he was helping out with things like that. And as I was going through his production catalog, there was a lot of songs that Timberland was produced with some of the biggest names, as of Kanye West, as of Pharrell. He was like the drum guy. And they were like, oh, and you can see it on some of the albums. I was like, okay, well, you can see articles where Kanye West was like, oh man, my drums just ain't right. Let me hit Timbo. And Tim got the drums right, like stronger. Man, like he has songs where he did the drums for certain songs. Even for those artists that was going out here getting platinum albums, he was the person that they went to and said, hey, get my drums right on this production. And he had the drums for him. So, and Timbo went from knocking it out for artists like Ludacris, of course, killed it with Jay-Z every time he touched it with Jay-Z. They was like, yo, number 1, we getting it. He had full albums that he did great himself and had number 1 hits. He had Aaliyah, R&B joints. He had Missy, probably one of the most, up until Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, probably the most regarded as a female hip hop artist that was out there as of number 1 albums or number 1 hits, things of that nature that was going on. So, I mean, he has a long line of number one and success, and is going all the way up until a few years ago. And now he's just helping out creating more producers within his beat club. And you can see him on Facebook where he's out here judging people's beats and stuff like that. So he's staying in the game, kind of trying to stay relevant. Then we have our number 1A and number 1B. So I had to kind of do that and did it up before because it was tough. So I got my man Pharrell and the Nerd Gang. I had to give them number 1A. Because Pharrell, same type of lineage and same type of pathway that Timbo did.
Right.
Pharrell is still killing it right now. He got stuff that's coming out right now that's still fire. And he's doing songs like Pusha T's new album, got some fire on there. Like he's still pushing it out with the new artists. Migos, he did songs on a Migos joint that people like, oh, that's fire. Like he did album or songs on their stuff. Like he's been one that's been relevant even into the new age of hip hop and hasn't fell off and still giving you those number ones. Also, he transitioned into R&B. He's been on dance. He's been on freaking house joints. You know what I'm saying? Like he's done all that stuff. And then my more hip hop 1B is Kanye. Just because Kanye he's kept it hip hop. He's changed his sound. He's been able to adapt. He's adjusted. He's been successful himself. He pretty much was just handing out hits after hits after hits with the soul sample, created his own style that everybody was trying to emulate and nobody can duplicate. He's been that type of dude. He falls in that category like Kanye, Nerd, with Pharrell, can't duplicate it. Timbo, can't duplicate it. Dr. Dre, can't duplicate it. They try to emulate it, but they can't duplicate it. And those are 4 artists or 4 producers, and that's how I have them lined up. I got them lined up. We got Dre at 4, Timberland at 3, my man Nerd and with Pharrell at 1A, and Kanye West at 1B. What do y'all think of the list, fellas?
I can't really go against what you just put down. And you took your time out to figure it out. You're right. Dre has not done much over the years. I mean, he didn't have to. I mean, he got all that.
I mean, that's the thing.
He got all that money from Apple.
Yeah, he got the forever. He got the forever money, man. He did it on some headphones, but
But 5 years from now, I would love for you to do this again, only because he has motivation now. He got to pay for that divorce.
True story.
True story.
And there's rumors that he's actually going to put out Detox soon.
That would be great because people have been waiting on that joint for a minute.
Right. So
everything that I've read, and people be like, "Yo, I heard Detox is like the greatest." You know what I'm saying? And you're like, "Come on, man! Like, what you doing?" Maybe he was waiting for it after the divorce. Like, all right, so you can't get the money off of this. So I mean, that would be great.
He used to seeing that bank account at a certain level, and he don't like it. So that's motivation. So again, 5 years from now, let's talk about that.
Yeah, let's see what happens. What do you think, Mike?
I'm a little different. I mean, I think Dre should be up a little higher. You gotta understand. I don't think it wasn't the fact that Dre wasn't doing things for a while. I think it's just a simple fact that Dre, what I'm saying, it's like he graduated and he moved on. Because think about it, everybody that you named, Dre done probably had at least a 15-year head start on it.
True.
So his catalog is a whole lot wider and more vast than theirs, than the other guy that you named.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, so I definitely like Ye in there. I definitely love Ye in there. I mean, that's one of his most. I mean, and we all know how his mind can just go. He's done put together some beats, bro. I'm like, are you serious? Like, and that's the beauty of him being an MC as well. That unorthodox style that he has. You know what I'm saying, with his creativity, like.
Right.
I'm a lyricist. Like I listen to lyrics first, then the beat, but you can't help but to catch both of them when Ye put something together. I mean, Dre too.
I'm kind of the opposite. I'm more of the beat because I mean, like I'm a producer, man. That's what I do. I make beats. Like,
Right,
so it's
right,
like I look at the beat first and then go like, hey, if you're an artist, or at least as a producer, what I always thought of was I'm gonna make this beat, and this beat may make you uncomfortable as an artist because you're
right,
gonna be like, I don't see it because I'm so used to a certain thing. And
right,
just like Pharrell, like so, and that's why I look at Pharrell and Timberland as so special because I feel like Dre beats are easier to go like, oh, I'm gonna ride on that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And be like, oh, I'm just gonna
yeah,
and even Kanye beats be like, oh, I'm gonna kill that. Like that's
right, right,
fire. I look
right,
at Timberland and Pharrell beats as like, oh, I can't wrap my mind around rapping on this. And they're able to go as a true
and
producer
and
and go say,
and
hey,
they're
this is, and I've
and
done
they're
this before with some of my beats. It's like I've been like, hey, I had a dude from Boston. He was all about boom bap, and I was like, yo, I'm gonna give you this beat, just rap on it. I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna be fire, and that's probably 99% of the conversations that Timberland has and Timberland Pharrell have. Rap on it. It's gonna, or they take the beat and simplify it so that the rapper can go, okay, let me wrap my mind around this and give you a boom bap, and then they go, guess what? I'm gonna give you this, and then it comes out and it's a totally different thing. And they're like, wow,
the
I can't
the
believe it's
one
that.
thing the one thing that you have to definitely appreciate about especially somebody like a genius, a musical genius like Pharrell.
Mhm.
Like when we're listening to Dre stuff, when we're listening to Swiss beats, we're listening to Kanye, you can kind of figure out like, I want to, that sound like a Dre beat, or that sound like a Ye beat. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Or that sound like a Swiss beat. We can kind of pick their, you know what I'm saying, like
right,
pinpoint
right.
and identify, you know,
Hmm.
their work. You know what I'm saying, in the music industry.
Yeah,
For real, you don't know, like you don't know unless they tell you, unless you dig it up. Like like you cannot tell, like his music doesn't have a certain sound to it. If I'm making sense, you know, it doesn't have a certain, you know, ring to it. Like you got to understand, like um his stuff is just so like the song Happy.
yeah,
That was the #1 song in the world, dog, for a
yeah,
whole freaking year.
yeah,
Like people don't
yeah,
understand how big that is. I mean, I don't care if you was white, black, pink, burgundy, maroon, lime green.
yeah,
Everybody love Happy.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Everybody love Happy. You know what I mean? So I mean that's one thing that I think you definitely have to give him and Ye as well. You know what I'm saying? Their
yeah,
versatility. You know what I'm saying? With in their production is just amazing. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And what I mean by that is you can find somebody who can rap on it, or you can find somebody who can sing R&B over it. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? So that's major within itself. Only knock I got, cuz on your top, I would drop Timbo out of there, and I will put my boy Knife Wonder in there. Knife,
Knife
listen,
Wonder is nice.
Knife
Knife Winter's
Knife
nice.
is sick.
He fired.
I actually just downloaded an album of his. I'm gonna send to you.
Mhm.
It's called Ninth Wonder Music Essentials.
Yeah.
Man, this dude done did beats for Erica Badu,
Oh yeah.
Destiny Child. You know what I'm saying? Like some of everybody. It's like, really? Like,
Yeah.
wow. Like, and he's another one, dog. Like he's just a musical genius, bro.
There's a lot of honorable mentions, dog. Like I can tell you right now, there's tons of honorable mentions
Timbo
that like
Code too. Timbo Code
like
too. But I
yeah.
love Knife.
It's like there's a lot of honorable mentions for sure in
So
the listing. Yeah.
want to go back for 1 second to what Mike was talking about when you talk about you can't understand or can't tell that it's a Pharrell beat.
I mean, I
Right.
can.
I'm
I
gonna
mean,
tell
like,
you, you're correct, and I'm gonna tell you the song that hit me. Like, what is this? Who did this? It was just so different at the time, and that's
Right.
when he did Noriega's Super Thug. I'm
oh
like,
yeah.
what is
Ooh.
this?
Yeah, true that. True that.
It sound like
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was fire because it was brand new. Like
it,
that was different.
nothing.
Yeah, that was different. That was fire though.
I mean, now you can be like, oh, you hear the Neptune in there or
Yeah,
Right,
whatever.
right,
yeah.
right, right,
At
right.
that time, you're like,
Oh,
what's this?
he went on a run, man. That Super Thug. Then you had Milkshake. Because you had Khalees, like her whole
Oh,
freaking
her first
album,
album?
man. It was just fire. You was
Right.
like, what is this? See,
Go
but it's
back.
like also but that's also these producers, right? So if you're a good producer, this is what I kind of put with it. You have a unique sound. So
Mhm.
Swiss Beats, he was an honorable mention because I was like, Swiss Beats has a sound that you be like, I know that's a Swiss Beats sound. Like
Of
I know
course.
when Swiss Beats come out with something, you like, oh, Swiss Beats. Like you know exactly
Right,
who did it.
right, for sure.
Like when I would hear a Timberland, I knew exactly who did it. When I would hear Pharrell, I was like, I knew exactly the Neptunes was a part of that. Dre, the thing was, it was like it been so long since you had those new pieces of that. Swiss Beats had some more recent stuff. Um, you know, like honorable mention would have been like RZA. I wasn't necessarily
No,
a
and that's
super Wu-Tang as of production wise because I felt like those artists away from the Wu were doper. Like the Wu together was dope, but actually, like just like you saw, Cuban Links, super dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had like you had Method Man. Like you had so many people that was away and got different production and it was like, wow, look at these artists. You know what I'm
we
saying?
left
So
one out too, man.
yeah,
We left one out too, and
do
and
that.
and, and if my top four, I would have to throw him in just because I'm a huge fan of his work, dog. And that's Primo, DJ Premier.
Primo, look, Primo,
He
yes.
is
Look,
Primo is everything to me, dog.
I'd have been like, look, I'm sorry, the list of honorable mentions. It's a good
It's
list of honorable mentions. That's I mean, like at least for mine. Like it wasn't like I wasn't thinking about
no,
these people.
seriously.
It was just
I mean,
like
and the
if I
crazy
gotta
thing
go
about it,
top
your
four,
list, you're not wrong with your list. Like
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like
It
you
was
can't
like
go wrong with it. Like seriously.
it was like
So,
it was a lot of there's a lot of good people that I'm like because I love Ninth Wonder. Like the Minstrel Show,
yep.
Right.
with oh man, that thing is ridiculous. Dude. And I'm like, I love
Ridiculous.
that. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
there's tons.
Right.
I got a question for both of you.
What up?
So now, the people on this list have to have some longevity.
Yeah, of
They
course.
haven't been around, right?
Of course, of
So
course.
if you look at it, the younger kids, younger generation probably doesn't know a lot of the people we talked about.
Yeah.
They know some, but they don't probably
They know for real. They know for
They
real.
do.
They know
Okay.
Timbo.
They might,
Maybe.
but not their
They know
catalog.
Kanye for sure.
They don't know their catalog in a
Right,
sense.
right. Yeah.
Right.
So now, give me one person, producer now, that you think the young people would like.
Oh, that they would like?
That they would like, that they could be maybe possibly one day entering into this list.
Oh, you mean that's out now that could enter into the list?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Mm.
I like Hit Boy.
Thank you. Thank you.
I like Hit Boy.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like Hit
Boy.
Boy, man. Hit Boy is really, and he's actually pumped life back in Nas's career, bro. Because I'm a Nas fan. Like if I wasn't a Nas fan, I just respected his work of art. I probably wouldn't take to him so much because his production had been down for like albums, bro. Like
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? He might have 2 or 3 fire beats on a track or whatever, but with him being my personal favorite, I would want him to have the best production, the lineup, the go online with his lyrics and everything else like that. But
I think
Hit Boy done.
I think that's the biggest thing that's hurt Nas over his career, man. It's like they always talked about his beat selection was just not it. Or he wasn't with a producer that was like, yo, you need to go here. Like, this is, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe he was selecting stuff that was like, oh, I want to have this type of feel. And be like, nah, dude, like, we need to not do that. You need to switch here and go here and do this. Like, Nas,
funny.
think about Nas on a Pharrell, like, especially with the way Pusha T, because Pusha T is straight up like East Coast style rapper. And you be like, Nas on a dope Pharrell joint, man. I mean, that could be fire, dog.
I mean, think about it. Hit Boy probably has one of the all-time greatest songs under his production.
True story.
Ninjas in Paris. That thing comes on. I don't care who you are.
Right.
Hey, look, they played it. Look, I went to the concert in Detroit. Went to the concert in Detroit. I was up in your neck of the woods because when
Yeah.
I was living in Columbus, man. This is the thing. Like that album came out. I mean, at that time, Kanye was still not all the way nuts. And I was like, all right, hey, me and the wife, I was like, yo, man, they came out with this album. It's dope. I had not heard the album yet. I bought the album and listened to it on the way to Detroit. So 4 hours.
Wow.
Boom, we riding.
Wow.
Boom, I ain't heard the album. I already bought the tickets, everything. I was like, yo, we seeing this. Because I was like, yo, Jay-Z got songs. Kanye got
Right.
songs, so it ain't gonna be bad. Like their album together could be bad, but I'm at least gonna be able to see both of them do their individual stuff. So we ride up there. I'm like, yo, this album is dope. So I'm like, yo, and really, Niggas in Paris wasn't the song that was really hitting me. Like there was other stuff in there that I was like, yo, this dope. Otis was cold. I was like, yo, man, these mugs is fire.
Right.
So we get to the concert. And man, they killing it. The concert is insane. This is the best.
Right.
Like it is literally up to this point. That is the second best concert I've ever been to. Number one is Michael Jackson.
Okay.
Like I went to the Michael Jackson Bad concert. Number two, which I never thought would be a hip hop concert, was freaking the Watch the Throne tour. So we sitting there, they going through the album. It's the last song. LEDs is like lightning starts striking and everything. And they go, wanna find me. And it go. And I'm in the stadium like, is this the same song that I've heard before? Like this song is killing it. And
Right.
so they play it.
What up, cuz?
They play it again. Then everybody's like, all right, cool. They go to the back. Like they like, we out, yo, blah, blah, blah. Everybody's just like amped. We walking up the stairs. Jay-Z in the back, he goes, play it again. And dude, and 5 more times later, everybody's still amped, dog. They in the palace, like, let's go. Like, we could have listened to that 20 more times, dude. I was like, yo, that song is ridiculous, dude. Like, that song is ridiculous. Like, that's probably the best. Yeah, that's one of the best. That's one of the best ever.
Yeah.
Insane. You can put that, check mark at the number 1 box. That song is nuts. Yeah.
12 years later, still kicking it.
Yeah.
That's a classic.
Still crank that mug up and it's gonna turn up every single time. But so we've accomplished another top 4. I mean, once again, Dr. Dre. I got Dr. Dre at number 4. I got Timberland number 3. And then I had a 1A and 1B. 1A I had Nerd, aka Pharrell, and it's homie. And then you got 1B Kanye West, man. So hopefully if you agree, disagree, let us know on Facebook, on YouTube, on all the other things that you may be on there. Once again, we on a mission, guys. We on a mission to get to 100. We got to get to 100 subscribers on that YouTube, man. We want to have 100 friends on Men Ketchup, on the Facebook. We on our mission to that one ZO. So come hit us up, like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all those good things, fantastic things. Once again, if you in the Tampa area, man, come get a cut. Because my cousin is doing artwork over there, and you're gonna come out of there and you're gonna get every single job you apply for. All of a sudden you're gonna win the lottery. Man, you gonna walk outside and you got like 22s on your ride. You were like, how did this happen just from a haircut? He got the ability to do it. I don't know what be happening, but everybody come out of that joint and they just become the best of themselves. So I really appreciate you, cuz, man. I really appreciate my man Brian stepping in.
Appreciate you,
Came
man.
in for co-hosting with your mans. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Rajim, going through some little things. He said he gonna be back next week. We ain't seen him in a little bit. He done got married. He done going locked up with the lady now, and all that good stuff. So you know what I'm saying? He out there enjoying his time since he's ringed up now. So he said he's gonna be back next week with us. So make sure you take care of him. Hit him up on Facebook and let him know that y'all care and whatnot. Once again, man, it's been episode 10. Episode 10, we made it to 10. We in the double figures, baby. You know what I'm saying? So episode 10 here on the Mid Ketchup podcast, yo. And we out, guys.